Load shedding hit stage 4 this weekend. No power until 11 p.m. tonight and again on the weekend. Eskom says it's deadlocked with the National Union of Metalworkers South Africa over a 15% across the board wage increase demand. Eskom says it's out of pocket and what the unions want is unaffordable. The power utility says it did not expect an unprotected strike. Let's explore the causes and effects with Adil Nchabeleng, who is an energy expert. Adil, welcome. We heard about already existing issues at Eskom regarding the use of emergency supply running longer and harder, low diesel levels and the impact of the strike. What is your assessment of the reasons Eskom is giving for why we are here now?
I think, thank you so much. And I think, Iman, the issue right now at Eskom is showing you out that indeed what we've been saying all along, that Eskom's power generation is declining and that there is no more power stations that are actually running efficiently. Right now, Eskom is sitting with the lowest scheduled maintenance, which means maintenance that they plan ahead of time. Right now, it's sitting at 2,600 megawatts in terms of scheduled maintenance. But unplanned maintenance, which is actually breakdowns, that happened right now, is at 17,300 or 400 megawatts. It's massive, almost 18,000 megawatts of electricity. Currently, it's under breaking. It's on a breakdown basis and unavailable due to unforeseen mechanical breakdown and everything. So Eskom is currently in a dire mess. That is why I think there has been an escalation to the stage 4, which is now to prevent a even further collapse of various other stages at the stage.
Yeah.
Because, it's running in an emergency level. Right now, if you're sitting with 18,000 of unscheduled breakdown, and you're sitting with another 2,600 of scheduled breakdown, it's a total of over 20 to 21,000 megawatts, which has been wiped off the grid and is unavailable. In the middle of winter, in a rainy winter, on a rainy weekend like we have, it's a complete disaster. I would not even be surprised if these levels could even be dialed up higher at some stage,
Yeah, I've got a lot that I want to cover, but I'm hearing you say that this issue with the unions is more like the camel that broke, the straw that broke the camel's back, rather than the bulk of the problem that Eskom is facing. Are they fobbing this off on the union issue more than taking responsibility for some of those institutional endemic issues that Eskom is already facing?
I think the union's contribution is minimum because Eskom has been in this phase. If you recall the last load shedding bout, which was about 3 weeks ago, they were still running at about 17,000 megawatts of load shedding in terms of unplanned breakdowns, in terms of unplanned maintenance, which was happening. So much hasn't really changed, even if it's 1,000 megawatts additional due to the fact that the unions haven't reached an agreement with Eskom in regards to their wage increases. Cannot have that much of a significant impact. The strike didn't cost 10,000 megawatts wiping out in terms of unscheduled breakdowns. It didn't add much because the numbers have been consistent over a period. It's been between 15 to 17,000 at any given point over the last 6 months to even 12 months if you were to actually do an evaluation of our load shedding stages.
So again, and very quickly, are you saying then that the unions are just a convenient scapegoat?
Eskom is passing the buck. The unions have just been conveniently actually blamed at this stage because if you had a serious union walkout, which actually in this case would not even happen, as you know that union workers are actually regarded as essential workers, so they don't have that much capacity to actually do downing of tools and not completely not show up at work or even protest publicly. There is currently a wage negotiation, which is a different process in respect to operations of workers on the power stations. There has not been downing of tools. If the union workers would down tools, we would be in a complete, total grid collapse and no generation capacity coming out of Eskom.
And that leads me then to my final question, which I need a crisp answer to. Are we at risk of a black start? This is an undesirable state of shutdown in which the entire grid has to be restarted. From what I understand, it could take a week or two, could have devastating consequences for us.
I don't think at this stage we're headed for that, and it can be prevented, if certain things could have been done. Just bring back some of the current load that is currently off the grid right now that needs to be restarted in terms of power stations. So far, if you had a breakdown, the entire grid cannot even be restarted in the next 6 months. It will be a massive disaster. So 2 weeks is not even an estimate we can work on. In that 2 weeks, there will still the entire cable, there will still the entire transformers, there will still the entire steel, and wreck the entire infrastructure to bits and pieces. So you will not even have 6 months to recover from that.
Whew, that sounds dire. Thank you, as always, Adil, for your assessment. Adil Nchabeleng there, who is an energy analyst. Well, stay